Hi everyone, Kev here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Matty P album, Terminally Horny. Matty P is a video maker, producer, and rapper, apparently, who I've been interested in since his debut a while back, Forbidden Fruit, a very amateur project whose instrumentals were mostly garage band loops, but it's Matt's personality that kept me invested in the album. From songs that make fun of people addicted to nicotine, to songs about a closeted gay man who says that the doctors have made him straight, Matt followed up this release with 2 projects in the 2 consecutive following years, whose instrumentals steadily improved over times, but topics never really exceeded the hilarity of that first album. Although that Layer song is pretty funny, I quite enjoy that one, the one with 8 people on it. So I wasn't expecting anything too different with this album. However, with this project being delayed from its original July 4th release date and rumors of it being a concept album, I was excited. What else was going to be hiding in here? Are we going to be exploring a new direction? How was this project going to be different from what I'm going to be calling the alliterative trilogy? Well, right out of the gate, the album starts with the track Stained Glass, where Matt shows that his writing, production, mixing, lyrics, writing, melodies have matured heavily since that previous project. The layered monotone vocals on the chorus, I'm drunk fast, think about a crash. It's a super sticky chorus. You have these guitars going around in the background, which I believe is a sample. This dark aggression is something Matt has dabbled with in the past, but to start the album off on this is really making a statement. And the second verse on this may be Matt's best verse so far. I pray that I will die when I head between those thighs. It don't even matter anyway, I won't end up in the sky. It's a great start of the album, introducing us into this world, and we go a little deeper with the second track, World War III, which has another dark instrumental on top of it. And it also features 2 artists, which I have not heard of before, JG Money and Kick. These 2 take up the verses of the track, while Matt just takes the chorus. Matt kind of acting like a Kanye West producer, DJ Khaled, maybe. He lets these 2 shine on the track, pretty much. And here we get a little taste of that comedy that has always been a part of Matt's previous projects. There was a crumb of it or 2 on the previous song, but here, they're both freestyles, these verses, so they have questionable lyrics that kind of ease their way into there. Kick has a bizarre outro where he talks about if the government's gonna kill him, he's not gonna die, and he's not like Kennedy because he's not a little bitch. It's a very odd little outro, the song. But the silly outro is a great transition into the next track, Paralyze That Pussy. This is a goofy track about very rough sex, which features a frequent collaborator to Matty P, Cavity, who has a killer chorus on this track. I put my wife a commission, straight into submission. She told me make it hard for her to walk, so that's a mission. Mischief, neighbors telling us to quiet down like shush. We just turned into bucking up the heat. Now, Matt has always talked about sex in his music. I mean, the first song on his first album is Sit on My Face. But I think now is a good time to talk about the concept of this album. That it's a kind of point of view of someone who is horny, gets their nut, has some feelings about it after, and then the cycle is reborn, which is a fine enough concept on its own. I just feel that this concept kind of gets muddled somewhere in the middle, almost like there's no progression in the horniness. There's just a steady level of horniness throughout. Near the middle, it kind of feels like these songs are just based around sex. But that doesn't make them bad. I almost forgot to mention the Plants vs. Zombies credits theme in Paralyze That Pussy. Very interesting use, and very interesting that it works. The Life of a Gemini uses a recreation of a 2018 Suicide Boys beat that was featured on a live stream, where Matt has another very solid chorus here as well. He's really on top of his game chorus-wise on this album. There hasn't been a dud yet. Cavity is also featured on Postnut Affair, which uses a sample of the Mario Desert Overworld theme from Anything Type Beats. Matt and Cavity share the chorus here, where they dabble in some SoundCloud-era scream vocals, something similar to what an X would do back in the day. The dual chorus between Matt and Cavity leads into a Cavity verse, which starts off innocent enough, but really picks up by the end. I can't emphasize this enough. Everyone on this project is really giving their all. It's a real step up from previous projects. The song ends with a Mario skit, actually, fittingly, where Mario goes into a castle and finds Peach with a very different voice, and apparently she's a man now, and Bowser's gay, and Toad is mad. Maybe it's a skit about God. I don't know. While we're also on the topic of skits, there's a very questionable Joe Biden skit where someone is trying to do an impersonation of Joe Biden, but they've never heard Joe Biden speak. They say something about little girls and giving themselves a presidential pardon. It's really something you may not want to hear, but you may love to hear it. So, go ahead, see what happens. Cotton Eye Jew is a pretty hilarious track, which features Calvanius, a artist who actually has been a producer on many Matt songs before, but he really gives a good performance here, going into a southern accent and just going bar after bar about passing the rack to the right and the beer to the left and the boom ba da. Pretty funny. It doesn't even need a chorus. It's just these two going off. Step Brothers is the third track featuring Cavity, and Matt has another solid chorus on this too. It's just, they're all so sticky. They really got the melodies down. I don't know if they have a ghostwriter or anything, but they're killing it. The fuck? Matt has some pretty hilarious lyrics too. Every time I go on Instagram, I get a boner. Bubbly brown butt cheeks. Yeah, they're looking pretty grand. I can subscribe to that. And Cavity might have his best verse on this specific song too. I could have 3 kids in 9 months and they'd all be different colors. Each one got a different mother. I don't think they like each other. I like dumb girls. Only thing thick on them is their skull. What? You look like Anya Taylor-Joy if she didn't have any joy. Hit me up, Anya. Now, this is when the concept starts to come back around with Terminal Lucidity, where this song is supposed to represent the nut. The song's supposed to feel like nutting. And it also features Millie the Kid, Prophet, and Kick Again. Millie has a little intro to the track where Matt goes into a super smooth flow. It's probably the best he sounded on a track flow-wise. Prophet does really well on this too, delivering a solid verse with some good one-liners here and there. And Kick delivers a very good freestyle here too. What I'm saying is abrasive. I'll fuck your bitch and replace her. God damn! This song is followed by a very cool track, Dicked Down, which is supposed to be a weird post-nut song, where it's just Matt talking his shit, talking about a weird kind of feeling you get post-sex. And Matt has some fire lines on this. Stop trying to fuck nines, take a look at your own face. God damn! The last track is Penis Pills 2, a sequel to Penis Pills, which was featured on Matt's previous project. A very, very dark track, and this song follows the same formula and features actually the same people as Penis Pills 1. It's like a direct sequel almost. This song is supposed to represent kind of the cycle continuing and perhaps getting worse. The nut happened, there's a weird aftermath, and it's just starting back up again like there's no ending. Muslim Mallet's verse is skin crawling. He has a very strange voice. He sounds almost like a cartoon, and he starts his verse with, "I'm the stranger, you're in danger." So you kind of know what you're getting into. And he actually has a fire line in here, "All my bodies make a rager." God damn. EC Dollar Sign probably has the most disgusting verse on here. He dabbles in some very questionable topics, and I think the police should be informed immediately. And you also have Dan on the back end, in addition to Penis Pills, who just seems like he has some problems, and I don't really want to make fun of him. The project ends at a very pessimistic point, and it makes quite the statement about fucking. Maybe we should all just get vasectomies. I like this project a lot. It's a great addition to the Matty P catalog. It's a new chapter in his career. After the Alliteration trilogy, we have these new songs that just are produced better, written better, interesting lyrics. They're all just getting better on this project, and I can't wait to see what comes next. Although the concept didn't pan out exactly well, I thought it was pretty good. I'm feeling I'm about to pass out in this fucking coat out of 10. Transition. Have you given this record a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Gotta read this shit off paper, bruh. What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe, and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Kevin Dooley, fuck Mikey G, forever.